There we go. Another broadcast. Episode 10. Episode 10 of Solar Panel Clean Friends. And I think I need to fix my mic to get it up like here. I didn't have that properly put together, and I can't be holding it the entire time. Look, David, this is I want to show you how put together I am. I have this microphone and I have a couple other things. Oh, look, here's Lewis. Let's pop him up
clear.
here. Well, thank you. It's a pretty cool microphone. Nice hair, Lewis. We're talking about my microphone. The thing about it is I don't have a stand for it just yet.
Oh, no worries.
So, right. That's why you see it every single week. It's like in a different location. And then I have tape for it. I had to put some masking tape all around it to get it to stick because I didn't buy the right parts. So there's that. So anyways, guys, how's it going?
Good. Actually, right now. I'm with my wife. We're gonna do grocery shopping. I forgot I'm cooking dinner tonight for the whole family, so we had to run out.
Well, go grocery shopping. You don't have to stick around in the car for an hour. It's all good. We're gonna be talking about the end of the year and what's coming up in the future and whatnot. So I'll do a bunch of talking. So Lewis, go shopping and have a good one. All right.
All right then. I'll be watching it through the Facebook thing.
Sounds good. All right. Take care, Lewis. David. All right. So, Mike is having a little bit of some internet connection issues, but he should be in here soon. Last week I missed all of you guys. I had a very serious, emotional podcast episode last week. I don't know if you got to watch it. I'm sure.
No, I haven't even had the chance. It's been such a crazy week with the. You can say hi to Mr. Chris. Here, say hi.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
He's like, no, anyways, I don't want to see that guy. He's ugly. I am ugly.
No. You don't want to say hi? Okay. Yeah, just with the holiday season, everything. It was. This whole month has been hectic.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've been off for a majority of it, which has been nice. But my wife started. We were waiting for all of our kids to get back in school, and our youngest is finally in school. So
nice.
She's working on her certified personal trainer thing right now, and she's got a lot of job opportunities. And so I've been kind of taking the back seat and trying to, give her time to get stuff done. And so
nice.
It's been busy though. Yeah.
It's been a crazy December. I'll tell you, I start off December 1st so happy and excited for the month. And then as the month progresses, it just gets not so fun. And then I hate December and Christmas. All of a sudden starts coming around and it's not as fun as I wanted it to be. But it was beautiful. It gets to I'm trying to find something to put this all on right now. It gets to around Christmas time and you get to the day before Christmas, and I get the happiest. I think I'm the happiest the whole year on Christmas Eve because I watch all the movies that I love that have so much nostalgia, like Christmas Vacation. I have to watch Christmas Vacation every single year.
I think I watched that 10 times.
Definitely.
In the month of December.
Right. Just in December alone. I watch it in other months during the year. Listen, we play the soundtrack. Because I love the song so much. You can catch me. I was walking around Walmart shopping, singing Mele Kaliki Maka is a thing to say. Yeah. So I really love the show. The other thing that I have to watch at the end of the year is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I have to watch that. That's such a good movie. Steve Martin and John Candy are so funny. I love Steve Martin. He's a funny actor. Not as funny anymore. He's been doing things with Martin Short and has some show on Netflix, and he's not as funny anymore. But I love to watch those two movies at the end of the year. They always make me happy. But it is the end of the year, and one hell of a year it has been for us. For residential, we did a bunch of commercial, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of burnt out from the year. Not just because of things that are going on as well. I am burnt out. The end of the year wasn't actually as awesome as I was hoping. We ended up having a bunch of rain out here, so we haven't even been cleaning for well over a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. It's been terrible.
So. It's how South Florida is year round.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah. I shut down when, I mean, like I said, from everybody else, I obviously I approach the solar panel cleaning differently because I do have a full-time job. So this is a part-time job for me. So usually when like I go on vacation from the fire department, I try to shut everything down. I'll do some stuff for neighbors. I think I've only done like 3 or 4 solar panel cleanings in this month, and I'll do a couple window jobs here and there. But if it's traditional only, that's it. And my parents and my brother, they always want their windows cleaned during December, so whatever.
Right. Okay.
But
Right.
there's their Christmas gift,
Hey, that's not a bad
It's a
gift
good
either.
gift. It's a
It
good
is a
gift.
really good gift. It is. It is. Yeah, we like to do that at the end of the year. We start throwing out there that window cleaning for families, for our customers, and saying, "Hey, it's the holidays. You got to have your windows looking all beautiful for the family members that are coming in." I like to
Yeah.
take advantage of that as much as possible. And I love the window cleaning. Really, really like to go out to do the window cleaning. And there's a lot more window cleaning during the winter season, it seems like, for me. I don't know why that is. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, the past couple months I've gone just completely traditional with window cleaning. I load up the SUV. I don't even pull my trailer. I put the buckets I need in, and that's it. I gotta be honest, I enjoy doing it a little bit.
I really do.
The traditional.
Yeah, I
kinda
gotta
fun,
be.
so.
I gotta be honest. I love window cleaning, and I haven't always, but I love traditional window cleaning. Absolutely love it. I mean, I got a water fed pole and I got a water filter system, but um, I don't know. It's just a little bit more rewarding. I mean, it might be the
Yeah.
OCD in me, but I really like it.
I like less hauling equipment. I'm not hooking any hoses up. I fill up 2 buckets with DI water beforehand. Um, yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a different thing. I'm not climbing on roofs. I only do single story. I just had a client reach out. She sold her house, and then she just sent me pictures of her new place, and thing's huge. I'm like, oh my god. I really want you to come out and clean the windows. I'm like, I don't know. Probably
Yeah,
good
see,
pay, so I'm not. I haven't told her no yet.
but
But
it's
anything
hard.
too.
It's hard. We actually
Yeah.
have a customer like that too, who we've been cleaning the solar panels for years. I've been cleaning the solar panels, and he recently called my wife and was like, "Hey, in January, I want you guys to come out and clean our windows inside and out." And they have a big house, so it's like 100 windows or something like that. So I don't know. Those ones are always like the scarier, the houses that have like 100 windows or something like that, and they want you in and out.
I
Clean. I don't.
I just hate the French pane windows. So now maybe it's just me being lazy, but I tell them from Jump
No.
Street. I'll usually go ahead of time because very few people have the really solid French pane windows. So they're always the cheap ones that are kind of flimsy, and guys are like, oh, you just pop those off. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with that because if I
No.
can't get it back on, I just don't want to handle it. So a lot of times I do is I just go and I hit it with the hose and a quick mop beforehand, and then I'll go do the rest of the windows, and then I come back to those and I do a quick squeegee, and it seems to
Right.
work. But
Well, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. We're solar panel cleaners, and the window cleaning is an add-on. And there are times and situations where, as much skill and education that I have or knowledge in window cleaning, there are sometimes I get to those ones, specifically those French doors that are cheap, and I'm not going to pop them off either because they've probably been sitting there for a long time. They're cheap, and it's going to be my luck that they're going to break. But the soap and the water just kind of draining out underneath
yep.
as I'm watching just pisses me off. And I think that's why I actually might charge too much for window cleaning, because I start cleaning with those types of the French doors and I get upset. So I see them and I charge a little bit more for them. So
Hey, at this point, I charge what I feel it's going to take me, and I think I've heard people say before, you want to be in that $100 range, and some people are like, oh, that seems kind of high. Well, you haven't cleaned your windows in 15 years, so
right.
you want magic from Jump Street, and it's just not going to happen.
It's not
My
gonna happen.
neighbors in my neighborhood, I give them an hour for free, so that's kind of my gift to the neighborhood type of a thing. And it seems to work. I get a few people, helps with the Christmas money, snag some money off to the side, or I stash into my bourbon account, and
Nice. Well,
hey, Chris, if you can hear me, you froze. Hey guys, I'm not sure if anybody's hearing this. Chris froze. I'm not sure what's going on with his system. Yeah. Chris is actually having internet problems right now, so I'm not sure if I am kicked off or not. But I'm gonna hit on these comments real quick. Will Cartwright, hey, hope you guys everyone had a good Christmas. It did. Same to you, Will. Hopefully you guys had a great Christmas over there in Australia. What a summer in the year. Yeah, we got about a week. We got dumped on down here in South Florida. So if this is live, is anybody else doing anything for the new year? You guys taking the rest of the year off and hitting it hard in the beginning? Shoot on your comments. That's the only way I'm going to be able to see from you guys.
there we go. Whew.
All right. I tried to run some interference. I don't know if I was streaming or not.
Could anybody hear me while that was going on? Because I cursed a lot. Okay. I
No.
was like, gosh, the internet is really shaky. So if it drops out for a second, just stay with us and I'll do the best I can. Yeah, it's really wild out here. The rain is really, really hard. The thing about it is during the day it's windy, and that sucks because it's not super, super rainy, and I'd like to go out and clean. But then at nighttime, it's dropping rain that is so ridiculous and heavy for California. So what it does is it has these people thinking, my solar panels are fine. I don't need to do anything whatsoever. We're all good. So that's a little bit of an issue, but it pops something else, which is the gutter cleaning. And that's kind of good, but it's still slowed down and now everything's just kind of chill. I think it's just pretty much because of the holidays and whatnot. But
yeah, I haven't hit the gutter cleaning yet. Haven't added that into the mix. No, not yet.
It's fun. It's not hard. It's not crazy. Like you do the one stories, you're like, this is a breeze. It's totally fun. It needs to be dry. If it's wet, nasty, and muddy, it's terrible. It's not fun whatsoever. If it's just taking the blower and just blowing all the leaves and the sticks out in the dirt, no big deal. If it's a 2-story, that's where I start to increase the prices a little bit. You get to some that are kind of like crappy, but you're up there cleaning solar panels anyways. So I figure why not? But
it's a great add-on. So obviously you do it before you clean the solar panels.
Yes. Exactly, because I don't want that water in that gutter whatsoever. I want it to be dry. I want to just get up there, blow it out, do the panels, collect my money, and go. It's fucking. I don't really like to do it all that much, but when they pop up, I'm happy with them.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so it's been a slow month for me, and I really haven't been pushing the solar cleaning at all. Like I said, when I'm off from the fire department, I like to usually just take the time off as much as I can. And with my wife doing her thing and getting ready to start her career, but a smaller but a very reputable solar panel installation company has reached out to me, wanting to add my services to their ultimate to their customers. But we were kind of trying to discuss a way of maybe adding my services into the plan for possibly like 5, even maybe 10 years. And that was my thought process, not necessarily his. But he brought up a good point, and because I've talked to you, Chris, about this, where I've run into issues with just with solar panel installers and stuff like that, saying panels don't need to be cleaned. The rain will clean it. So I think they're starting to come along now and realizing that this isn't true. They need to be clean just like anything else. Maintenance, there's nothing maintenance free in this world.
Right.
And I was glad because the guy reached out to me and said, "Hey, Dave, I really want to add this, but I'm on the fence because I don't want this to possibly screw me out of a deal." Because the minute you tell somebody, well, there's maintenance involved, then some people might be like, well, hey. And I kind of went back to him and I said, listen, I completely get where you're coming from. But you would probably be the first installer who's being honest. And for the most part, I mean, they don't need to do it every 6 months. I mean, maybe in different areas. But I told him, I go, most of your clients, at least down here, are going to be able to get away with yearly or every 18 months. So he actually is like, hey, I want to sit down and talk to you after the new year, get together and really get a discussion and a plan going. So, like I said, all the SEO stuff isn't working for me right now. I get a few new clients here and there, but, still just not as big as I would like it to be. So my next thing is hey, you go, and I hate to say, you go to the enemy and you try to work a deal with them. And that might be the avenue to get in.
No, I think that's a great idea. Is actually, I've been saying this, for a while. Is definitely contact the installers, contact electricians, property managers, real estate agents, all these different types of things. I like to think way outside the box. But I know in my first few years, I was contacting a lot of different individuals. Installers are great. There are installers out there that have salesmen who sell on the fact that or like to say that solar panels don't need to be cleaned, but there's a lot of them that are okay with giving education to their customers. And if you get them on the same page with you, that you're like selling them, hey, you're cleaning solar panels, look at that look you just gave your kid right now. I wish you could have seen that look right now.
He's up on my dresser with his hands on the TV. Hold on one second. Hey, get down. The kids are going crazy. There's a bunch of bats outside right now. So
hey, listen, my 3-year-old is nuts. She yelled at me today. She told me no. She tells me no quite often. She's 3 years old, and no. She wasn't in trouble. She actually just fell down and kind of hurt herself a little bit. And I said, "Are you hurt?" "No." "Okay, are you okay?" "No." "Do you want a hug?" "No." "You want to sit down?" "No." So
everything's no.
Yeah, that's kids. They're beautiful. Well, what was your worst appointment that you had this year?
I'd go with the
worst
dirtiest
one.
Yeah, so I'd go with the dirtiest solar panels. I guess I could have two, and the other one I didn't show up to because I couldn't stand the lady the first time I cleaned her windows. I just did a house. The panels had been installed for 10 years, had not been cleaned, and the surrounding property was like, a scene out of Jumanji. And it was just, just talk about backbreaking, scrubbing, just nonstop. Luckily, they have a guy who runs the property, and he was cool enough to be like, "Hey, bro, you got to up your price." He's like, "You were working way too hard up there." He's like, "Just resend me an invoice," and he was a cool dude.
Nice.
And then the other one is in Palm Beach County, we have Palm Beach Island, and Palm Beach Island is where a lot of the world's wealth own property. It's a island strip right off of West Palm Beach. The intercoastal separates it. And you just have people there who are, they think you're a peasant and you should be working for free for them. And this lady, the first time we cleaned her windows, she just nonstop, just following us, but telling my wife, "Oh, here, you missed a spot," or are you going to clean this yet? Like, "Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet." Like, calm down. And then she was mad because initially I told her, I would go, "Oh, well, it's going to be about $150, $200. And then when I got there, it was a construction cleanup job. And I was like, "Oh, you're looking at like 600 plus." So, yeah, that'd be the two worst. I didn't have anything extremely bad this year. I hate to say I lost 2 clients, and their wives had called me, but both clients I lost, they were Vietnam vets to Agent Orange.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of sad. Super, super nice guys. So with any military family, I always give them the military discount, and
Yes,
and now
100% every time.
obviously the widows are trying to manage the household, so I try to just do a little extra to help them out or whatever. But yeah, it's
Yep.
sad that the Vietnam guys got they had it hard enough coming back home. They didn't get the hero's welcome that they deserved. And then a lot of them were exposed to that Agent Orange, so that was sad to see those guys go. But
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Well, it's like I say, we're not selling solar panel cleaning service. You're not selling a product or a service. You're selling customer service is what you sell at the end of the day. And as long as you take care of your customers, that's going to always be the best for you. Looking back on this year, I guess I have a couple of appointments or cleanings that stand out in my head. I think the first one actually was something that just happened recently. We did a cleaning at a kind of an apartment complex area with some flat solar panels, and we were told that they would have um, a lift for us to use, that we wouldn't have to rent one, which was cool because truthfully, the times before that we had cleaned off of ladders, me and Mike. Wasn't the best idea, and it's definitely not the best idea. In fact, it's the dumbest idea. And it was very tough and brutal, and I hated every single minute of it. And I don't think that we did 100% of a job the past couple of times. This last time I know we did, but the times before that, I think it kind of made us lack a little bit. But this last time we went out there and we were told there were going to be a lift. And so we were like, okay, this is going to be great. We got out there and the owner did get a lift, but the type of lift they got was like a one-person type of lift that just goes straight up. It was a very awkward one. Like I've never even used a lift like that before. So it just looked like more of a problem than anything. So we didn't even use it. We went straight to the ladders. And on top of it, those solar panels hadn't been cleaned. They were supposed to be cleaned like 7 months prior. They went like 7 months overtime. They were supposed to be clean. So they were filthy, just absolutely filthy. And they were flat panels. I wanted to quit, David. I was so done with solar panel cleaning by the time we got like halfway through. And I think it was about 1,200 panels, something like that. I can't remember it. It was terrible. I hated that one.
Yeah, I
The
walked
other
off
one,
a window cleaning job this year.
did you?
I forgot, and it had nothing to do with the client. It had to do with the inside windows, and I told them, yeah, I'll clean the insides. Of course, everybody who has these like second story huge windows, we want you to clean everything, but can you do these inside windows? It's always the pain in the ass ones.
Right.
And I don't know if it was my soap mix, whatever it was. The more I kept trying to fix it, the worse it got. And finally, I told the lady, I said, listen, I'm actually discontinuing second story anything. I know I was going to charge you this much. Take $100 off. I go, your windows look like crap, and that's my fault. I'll try to reach out to another company. And I know this sounds horrible. Like this is bad business practice. I was done. I was just absolutely done. I said, there's nothing I can do about it. I go, I apologize. Here's $100 off. And, she's like, well, did you find another company? And I did. I tried to reach out, and I just couldn't find another company that could do it in this month. So I did feel kind of bad about that one because she was such a super nice lady, but just one of those days.
Okay, so the next story is perfect because that's exactly kind of like what it was. We first originally got, hold on a second here. We first originally got the phone call to clean this lady's solar panels, and we went and we cleaned her solar panels, and it was a beautiful home. They had inherited it from I think the owners, the wife, she had inherited it from her parents, and it was nice. It had a nice pool, then it dropped off with more property than up above were some horse stables, and they had many horses up there. So it was really, really cool. And when we first got there, the lady was like, oh, yeah, come up, see the horses. And excuse me, drinking Dr. Pepper. She was like, I was talking to her about my wife because she had talked to her on the phone when she was making the appointment. And she was like, well, have your wife come on by here with your daughter to see the mini horses. And she came over. I mean, everything was really, really cool. We really, really liked this lady. Then we did the windows inside and out, and she was super, super happy. Then she wanted us to come back and clean the glass fence, like wall thing that went around the pool. I hate those things. I hate them. They always have so much bee pollen on them. Now, if it's a solar panel, bro, I'm good. I know
Yeah.
what to do. I can do so much stuff with it. I'm just like Harry Potter up in this bitch. Like, no problem. And it's clean. But the window, I'm like standing there. I'm like, well, I certainly can't scrape this the way I scrape a solar panel. That's not going to work. So we start cleaning them. And I don't know, man. We must have gotten like into 5 of them. And we were just like, this isn't going to work. It's not happening. So we quickly rushed through it to do the best that we could. And we told her up front, we built the expectations that we were going to be doing the best that we could, and we couldn't promise anything whatsoever. And we even gave her a super, super cheap price of like $100, even though it should have been a lot more than that. Lady came out, and she was angry about it. And she goes, well, I don't understand why those don't look like the windows, or don't look as good as the windows around the house. You did those windows and they look beautiful. But the window wall that goes around the pool looks like crap. And I'm like, first off, thank you. We did put a little bit of effort into that. So she goes inside, she comes back out, and she's going to be paying us. And she slides me a 20 and she says, thank you. I'm like, I didn't want to say anything else. I was just like, forget about it. They already paid us for the inside and outside of the windows and for the solar panel cleaning, which was, we got paid really well. So I was like, no big deal. But at the same time, I was like, dang, man, what a not so nice individual. I'd never talk bad about a customer, but it's been fun. It definitely has been fun this past year with everything that's been going on. The one thing that I love about my customers and doing an appointment is how much more they love to talk. Nobody is more political than a customer. Nobody. Yeah. It's like all of a sudden they get that.
I was just thinking.
They're on that soapbox and they're so happy. They just go off. They're like, hey, by the way, it's beautiful. So fun.
Yeah, I definitely don't get political with the clients, regardless of what my views are. But it was funny because with the whole COVID thing going on, I have a client and he asked me for a pressure cleaning company. Well, there's a guy down the street from me. He actually owns a pressure cleaning and a window cleaning company. So I said, hey, Dan, can you get these? Can you get the roof? And I'll come right after your guys are done so I can clean the panels. And I guess they didn't have their mask on while up on the roof. And I mean, this client like lost it on him. But not only that, when I get there, he loses it on me because, hey, you don't recommend any effing party who doesn't show up to my house with a mask on. And I'm like, hey, bud, I don't run their business. Okay. You asked for a recommendation. Oh, and they charged me this much. Well, he charged you $10 more than what the guy I recommended last year charged you. And the price of everything's gone up. But I'm not arguing with him about that. I said, hey, listen, I'll talk to their boss. Don't worry about it. And don't worry, I'll have my mask on too. But I mean, and then by the time I got done with the panels, he just wouldn't let it go. And then he started in on, our former president. And I just shook my head like, okay, sorry. I gotta walk away at this point. I appreciate it. I have another appointment I'm late for. Great to see you, sir.
That's all you can do. I don't know why. I got customers that get it's cool. Some I agree with and some I don't. But on both sides, it's not just one side. Both sides that are super angry about everything. So it's funny to hear them talk about how it's so hard for them and for everybody else and for all this kind of stuff. And then you say it is definitely harder, as you've just made me well aware that, by the way, my prices had to go up just a little bit, but not much. They had to go up. You've been a customer with me for a very long time, so I hope you understand. Well, that doesn't make any sense why your prices went up. They should be the same. Like, it's the pushback on because my prices went up this year. They went up. I Well, that's the thing, David, is to be truthful with you, it didn't matter if there was a pandemic or if Biden or Trump or the man on the moon was the president. Like, my prices weren't going to go up. They were still going to go up. But I feel like people are more more easily fighting against prices going up. And it's like, man, because I know people are having to run with the same deal everywhere else and having to deal with the gas, because gas out here is crap, but I don't care. I
Yeah, I
don't.
mean, prices are going up everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're going
Right.
to the grocery store or the gas station. There's inflation going on right now, and there's
Right.
nothing you can do to stop it. And if you want to save money, go get a bucket and a brush and go clean your own panels. Because other than that, there's nothing I can do for you. I'm sorry about that.
Right. And I tried to do some things here. I did do a few things this year that I was proud of. I do try to help out my customers, and I try to make it a little bit easier as I do raise my prices. But I look at it, when I raise my prices, I look at it like Kohl's. I like to think what the exact prices or the amount of money that I want for that product, and then I raise it up more beyond that as an actual price, and then I put a discount on it as well to kind of bring it down, so they look like they're getting this 25, this 35, 40 discount percent discount, and they're super super happy with it, but they're really paying the price that I want. I find that to be very effective and very, very helpful. I feel bad about it sometimes, but it's really, really awesome. Doesn't hurt all that much.
I think as long as you're making, as long as you're making money for your family. Um, my dad was a real estate agent for years, and he always said the guy who trained him up was like, you always just leave some meat on the bone for the next guy. And I think if you do that, just with the same thing with your customers, hey, make enough to where I get to eat, you get to eat, and at the end of the day, I'm not price gouging anybody. I've actually,
No.
some of my neighbors, I've given them a price, and by the time I was done, I said, hey, I can knock $50 off for you. It didn't take me as long as I thought it would. And
Yeah.
usually they just give me the
Right.
50 back as a tip. I was like,
I was
okay,
about to
that's.
say, every time they'll just give it to you right back as a tip.
And I think people more will appreciate your honesty. I broke a lady's water spigot because my stupid self was not looking and I twisted the wrong thing. I called the plumber out. The guy was super cool. He came out and fixed it for me for $50. Um, and she was appreciative that I just didn't leave it there leaking. So I think she ended up giving me like a $30 or $40 tip on top of that. She tells her neighbor, and I go over, and the neighbor just had window cleaners over at the house. Like literally, I'm cleaning windows and they're cleaning windows. And the guy comes over and goes, "Yeah, they suck. Can you fix these windows for me?" Okay. So then I got him as a client. I charged him 150 to do his windows that he just had cleaned, not even 30 minutes beforehand. And now I got him as a yearly client. So hey,
Wow.
honesty works.
It does. It does. T. Lynn says, but there are still people who will clean panels for $80. Yeah. And I don't worry about that. If there are guys that want to clean what I clean for a much cheaper price or much less expensive price, that's totally fine for them. Because I feel like those guys are going to go ahead and push themselves out on their own, because eventually they're going to find out how hard it is, and they're either going to get out of the industry altogether and just be like, forget about it, or they're going to raise their prices and just be exactly with me. I mean, that's all it comes down
And
to.
and and most of those guys probably don't have the insurance and everything that they have. And so when one of these homeowners ends up, this guy falls off the roof, and you didn't check the credentials because you wanted to save $100. Well, that's ultimately what you get. I mean, Sean Gavin, he always has this cool, like, quotes of the day and,
Mhm.
stuff to kind of hype you up for the workday. And,
He
he
does.
said, the guy who's doing it cheaper, those are the clients you don't want anyways. And that's true. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. Everybody's trying to save $1. I get that. But if you're going to nickel and dime me on something, and I've told people before, I said, hey, you don't need my services. It's not required. There's nobody telling you. If you want to, go up on your roof and clean the panels yourself. And people
Right.
have asked me, how do you do it? I go, go on YouTube. Go YouTube it.
I don't. So Mike says I got a big ego, and I do. But I try not to
It's hard
mention
when
it.
you're the expert.
It's really hard. I don't. It's just so complicated. I do mention it every now and then. I'll tell people because I don't get it too often where people, if they've got me over, usually they're like, forget about it. You're doing it because I basically don't want to or don't know how. I don't come across that too often. I did actually this year, funny enough. We were cleaning for a guy who was watching us the entire time. And I thought the guy was just watching us, which happens. People watch us clean, no big deal. And then he called me back a week later and started asking me questions about what I was using and could he get up there and try it and da 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 da. And would I give him the information to get up there and clean it? Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And he spent some money and he got up there and he didn't like it. He didn't actually even clean. He actually decided forget about it and called us back and we went right back out there because he just didn't like it. Some people want to, and if some people want to clean their own solar panels, I feel like, hey, no big deal. I'm cool with cleaning my solar panels or, doing my own thing as a consumer. So I'm good with that. But whatever.
You're
To each
nicer
his
than
own.
I am because I would tell people that that's exactly what you're paying me for. Somebody had posted something like said it's like a contractor. And the guy's like, well, I don't want to pay that much. Okay, well, how much would it be for you to teach me how to do it? Oh, I'm going to charge you this much. Oh, and then you have to rent my tools. It's going to be this much. And then because it's on a weekend, I have to charge more. And it ultimately ended up being more expensive for the guy to go that route than for this guy just to do the job. And I won't give anybody that, like I said, you're nicer than I will. I won't give people that advice. I say, hey, I spent time to learn this and
Right.
research it for yourself. I'm not trying to be rude, but
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, and I'm probably giving I don't give them as much information, and I'm not cold about it, but I am definitely a lot nicer than I probably should be. I'll tell you that much in those types of situations, which is funny because I'm not really a nice person, David. I'm not. I got anger issues and road rage is ridiculous. My road rage is off
yeah,
the
me
Richter,
and you
but
both.
that's okay.
Yeah, I find that kind of like it's almost offensive. Like, hey,
Right,
just tell me how to do your job so I don't have to hire you.
right.
Like really? Like, no, I will not do that. Go figure it out for yourself. Um, yeah, I've had one cleaner out down here reach out to me and like wanted information. Listen, I do not mind helping people out, but the minute like I brought up like, hey, we need to get together on pricing so we don't price each other out, and most likely I can actually refer you business. And then he went AWOL, didn't want to talk to me anymore and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is exactly the reason why I didn't give him the information he was asking.
And it's hard too. That's how I started off the beginning of this year. I don't remember most people in this group, if you've been in it long enough, you remember Brian. He was here for a little bit and then went crazy. But that's okay because I don't want to put him on Front Street at all. But he was part of the group, was posting, was really into things, and then he had contacted me. This was literally New Year's Eve. And at the beginning of 2021, and he says he's out in Las Vegas at some bar or something like that, and I can't remember what was going on, but something he wanted to drive down the very next day. I had a job, and he wanted to join me with the job and kind of see what I'm doing, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, sure, cruise on down. I'd love to show you. He showed up at an appointment. I let him show up to one of my customers' homes and come in the backyard and get up on the roof so he could see what we're doing and even video me. I was like, sure, no big deal whatsoever. He actually ruined it for everybody because after this, I had to like say, okay, we're not doing this. He went nuts. He had his own things going on with his life, but he started putting out all these rumors about me, Luis Munoz, a couple
I
different people. He
remember.
went nuts. Crazy,
I
crazy,
remember.
crazy guy. So it's hard
Yeah,
to
that's
trust
almost as bad
people.
as the one guy who scammed a bunch of people. Was it
Simonelli.
Simcoe?
Yeah, Jason Simonelli. So earlier
And
this
I
year,
I
Jason
talked to that
Simonelli.
guy. I talked to him several times. We talked on the phone a lot, and seemed like a nice enough guy. I'm lucky I didn't send him any money.
None.
I didn't get caught up in that whole mix. Yeah.
Anybody who starts it off with, I'd like to sell you some leads, I'm automatically leery of, like, nah, it's all right. How many
Yeah,
times have you
I'm good. I
sold
don't need
these
your leads.
leads? Yeah, I don't need leads. Leads don't do anything for me. That's very cute,
I,
but
I got a couple of people like in front. They'll be like, "Hey, if I can sell you some of the leads." And so, like, listen, I haven't sold a lead to one person yet. If somebody calls me and they're in Ocala, I go to the local guy in Ocala. If they're in Tampa, I refer the guy Josh who's over in Tampa. Like,
yeah,
I know a couple of the guys who are doing the cleaning. I just refer it that way. I don't need 10%. I don't need 5%. Build your business. If you catch a lead my way, I hope to God you're not driving 4 hours to come
right.
clean some solar panels. I would hope that you'd reciprocate the favor, but hey.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So, I did think it was really funny though that he had his magic paint. I think that the best thing in the group actually was Jason Simonelli this year, and the fact that he had his magic paint overspray removal, and he did that video, which I got to go back and find that video. It was so good. He posted it in the group.
I waited months, and this client was a pain in the ass. And I'm like, man, you just have to wait. I'm waiting for this product to come. It's supposed to be great, and kept waiting. And then, the guy, the Simco, they even had like a lady call me to get my address and say, oh, they're shipping it out. And I mean, like, the whole deal. And I'm like, oh, it should be here any minute. Hey, Jason, it's been 2 weeks. Like, what's going on, bud? Like, oh, hey, I got out of the hospital, or hey, this happened, or hey, like, okay. And then I started seeing people say, hey, this guy scammed me. And I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I didn't do any of that. So.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was he came in too fast into the group, and all of a sudden was had the secrets and all this kind of stuff. I'm leery of individuals who come into the group and have a bunch of secrets and we're gonna make you rich, and yeah, that kind of crap always
And he
like
charged
pisses me off.
everybody $100. That was everybody was $100. I didn't understand that. Like, wait, you're gonna charge the guy who has 80 panels $100, and the guy who has 18 panels $100? Like, it's one set price? Like, no, come on.
His whole thing sounded so off, and he talked about it, that he had like all these vehicles out there and doing all this kind of stuff. And Lewis has vehicles out there. He's doing stuff. He's working. He's got salesmen, door knockers, all this kind of stuff. And that is what Jason was trying to say, is that he had such an influx of appointments and customers that he could just run every appointment for $100. And I don't see how that's possible. It doesn't matter, because you still need two guys to go do the job. I mean, I guess you could do it with one guy, but it's if you got employees out there, that's stupid. That could be dangerous. It's not even
Big
worth it
time.
at that point. So I don't
Time.
get it. I don't get it. But he's not around anymore. He had a heart attack and was in the hospital and then disappeared. But someone said that they saw him
He just
back
popped
up
up
again.
not too long ago. Yeah, it was on the solar panel cleaning friend site that he popped back up. So
You're kidding me. I don't know how I missed that.
I'm almost positive it was on that site. Yeah, somebody said that they go up, he's back, and I was like, oh, well, hopefully he doesn't get anybody this time.
Jeez. Well, there were two guys that joined the group this year that are pretty impressive, that seem to be turning some heads. Kim Verduct and Steve Williams. Steve Williams came in, and first Kim came in strong with his robot and his cleaning. I really like
he's a
Kim. I think
robot
he's a
guy.
nice guy. He's a robot guy, and so is Steve Williams. He's a robot cleaner too. They're in the UK though, where they're cleaning. Oh, hold on a second here. Let's see who this is. Hello, this is Chris. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Is this Chris Virgin?
Oh, hold on a second. They're asking for me, so it must be a collector. This is him. Oh yes, that's no problem. Yeah, that's no problem. I actually can't talk right now, but I can go online and take care of that in about 20 minutes. Please, thank you so much. I appreciate the phone call. Thank you. Okay. Uh, I've got a couple credit cards. One credit card company likes to call me all the time, nonstop, even if I'm late, just to say, "Hey, you got a credit card payment coming up." It's like, "Hey, thanks for the reminder," because I don't know, they think I'm stupid.
So if you get Dave Ramsey has a book. I can't remember which one it is, but it's about dealing with credit card issues like that. And there's at a certain point on their end, it becomes harassment, and you could actually file against them. And numerous people have been like, okay, yep, at this point it's harassment, and they've the credit card company's like, okay, don't worry about it. Your bills, it's handled, and you pretty much walk away. I remember I used to
Yeah.
teach Dave Ramsey's course, so I remember reading that in there. But
Okay.
yeah, don't
I've
let
heard
them
of Dave
harass you.
Ramsey. Yeah, no, I'm not,
Yeah.
exactly. It gets so, it gets annoying too. And I think I'm about at that point because really all we're talking about here is, I believe the total that is on that credit card is a little over $200. So it's not a whole lot charged on there. And the minimum payment right now is $40. So, and again, I'm not even late, but whatever. That's just one of those
Yeah.
credit cards. Yeah, Steve Williams and Kim Verduke. Steve Williams, I had a little bit of some issues with Steve Williams on in the group. The guy comes off a little bit cocky to me, but then again, I'm pretty cocky, so I kind of just after a while decided to go ahead, shut up and let him do his thing. But we were friends on Facebook, and I thought we were all good. But then he unfriended me on Facebook. He sent me a message and said that he had been on a plane and that was a possibility why we were no longer friends on Facebook. He had sent me that message after he was on the plane, and I was waiting for, I guess, the internet to connect for him to be friends with me again. But the internet never connected. I'm assuming it never connected because we haven't been friends since. So I don't know. Still trying to work
I
on
was gonna
that
say
one.
another guy who's on there, Ryan. The Ryan
Ryan
who?
DeHoop. Ryan DeHoop.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yep.
like Ryan DeHoop. So that's another guy who this year is now a moderator in the group, and he's helping out with people getting in the group, the group request and different things like that, which is very, very helpful. Ryan DeHoop is a good guy. He contacted me a couple years ago and was like, "Hey, I saw your video and I got a job and I'd like to leave it and start cleaning panels." And we start talking, and then he's made that move. And I remember the day he quit his job and then went over to solar panel cleaning and just kind of stuck with it. And it's cool to see people call him an OG. And I'm like, that's my dude right there. I almost feel like a proud papa. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Good
He's a
stuff.
good guy. Good guy. I like Ryan.
Good stuff.
So, and I see that I feel like he's going to be doing a lot too. He's got, see now for cleaning, I believe he's got the rotating bristle brush, the clean, which comes from Jay Racenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that brush. No.
I got to be honest. I've been looking into it, but my whole thing this year was to try to pay the business off completely, and that didn't end up happening. So that's the goal for next year. And whatever equipment I have, that's the equipment I'm keeping. And besides changing out my DI resin, that's all on my plan for this year coming up, to get the business completely out of debt, and then I'll look at purchasing some other stuff. If if our buddy Sean Gavin comes up with a solar brush. I know you've been talking to him. I've reached out to him a few times over the year and just said, hey, if you can find a product that like this will get bee pollen off immediately, or, like texture wise, just kind of gave him some ideas if he ever thought about designing a brush, that would just help, annihilate the competition. So it would be cool to see him come out with something this year. I'd be stoked to see that.
I think so. I think that might be a possibility. I've been talking to Mr. Gavin as well, and I think that we had a conversation similar to that a few months ago, maybe about 2 months actually. And I see that happening more where there's going to be an American-made rotating bristle brushes. I mean, all the rotating bristle brushes or robots are all made overseas. So I think a lot of cleaners are like, oh, we got to get these brushes and blah, 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 blah. Well, the reason why these guys over there got it, they can get them a little bit easier than we can. So it's a little bit cheaper. And then also, like,
Leave him be.
we don't need too much of like the robots. Where I'm down in San Diego, I don't have too much of a need for a robot, quote unquote, as much as say, to be truthful, Jesus Megianos, who's up in Visalia. He does a lot of ground mounts. So he would actually use it a lot more than me. Now, I have a lot of carports and a lot of rooftops, so I could probably use it for that. But again, I do more residential. I love to do residential. Not that there's anything wrong with commercial or anything like that, or that one is better than the other. But if you've listened to any of my podcasts, you know that I burnt myself off on commercial. I'll do them, but I love residential. I love it. Hell, you can make $2,000 to $8,000 a week. You can legitimately, like,
You can
real talk.
charge more per panel too,
Oh,
with
big
residential
time,
than you can with commercial.
big time.
So
And in San Diego, it's big, So
see, Florida started popping up these solar fields, and they're huge. Like I mean, just up and down the whole state. And I had kind of looked into that, like doing the like, hey, what if you get a tractor with a water tank, and then you have the brush, and it just didn't seem feasible. And actually, there's a guy out of South Georgia. Um, I think his name's Rick. He
Rick Sasser.
has a bit. He's Rick Sasser, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? He's close enough. He's willing to travel. If I could reach out and help the guy out, okay, I would help him out. But to me, like, there's no reason to do the farms and just no.
Well, see, that's what I think a lot of people miss is they think that it's a progression thing where you're, I'm going to start with the brush, then I'm going to get a rotating bristle brush, then I'm going to get a robot, and then I'm going to get a tractor. They're all different levels, different types of cleaning, and it all just depends on what you want to do. It's where's your focus at? For Rick, he's got those tractors. He's going to be focusing on ground mounts. He doesn't really have to care about too much. And if I was Rick, I wouldn't care about anything else because at that point with that tractor, you could do a lot and make some really damn good money.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to residential, like me and you both do, I think your ultimate goal is to start shaving off your time. And you can shave your time by, not connecting to a water source. So having your own water supply while you're there.
Yep.
Quick access with a ladder. However you could work it out to where you're up and down and you're taking an hour and a half job and knocking it down to 45 minutes. That's where you start making the money and
Right.
less wear and tear on your personal being. So that would be my ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think that that's right on point. Is the goal is to succeed where it's best for your area. Over there in the UK, residential isn't as big as commercial, so you'd be hitting for the commercial. Over where you're at, I don't know. It might be kind of because you're in Florida. It might be a mix between doing the residential or deciding to go straight to the commercial. It's one of the two because they're different types of equipment too. It's such a difference. Whichever one you do, though, I don't think one tops the other, and I think there's a lot of money to be made in either one. In either one,
Oh, yeah.
I think in some of my best months. I think in some of my best months during summers, I know we've done around $7,000-8,000 in residential, which is looking back on those months is ridiculous. And sometimes I don't know where all the money goes, but it's crazy. It's crazy. There's more and more customers popping up every single day. There is literally more and more competition popping up every single day, and I don't see an end in sight too soon. So.
Hey, you gotta love that 25-year warranty.
You
On the
gotta
panels.
love that 25-year warranty, definitely. So this is the 10th episode. This is the 10th episode and the last episode of the year. Mike couldn't be here because he's having internet problems, and Lewis was going to be here, but Lewis actually kind of determined what we were going to talk on this episode previous about an hour before going live, but he had forgotten that he was making dinner tonight, so he was at the grocery store with his wife. And
He didn't even tell us what he was making.
He didn't even tell us what he was making, which I kind of feel ripped off about that. I'm gonna have to rag him on that. I knew something was off.
I have a feeling he was just going to the drive-thru. That's why he was waiting to get off.
He's all, look, that's why we only saw him just in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
I knew something was off though when his hair was totally messed up and he was like trying to fix it. I'm like, here we go with David. Well, next year is going to be a beautiful one because on the first episode, January 4th, which will be the day before my 44th birthday, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I turned 44 January 5th, but we're going to be giving away two Tucker XL scrubbers, alpha scrubbers. Let me say that the right way. 2 Tucker XL alpha scrubber brushes, along with 10 replacement pads to 2 winners. So we're not going to do just one winner. Now we're going to give away 2 prizes, and this is a collaboration with Solar Panel Cleaning Friends and WCR, Window Cleaning Resource. These guys have reached out to us, and they're going to be giving us some products to go ahead and give away to our listeners here on the Solar Panel Cleaning Friends podcast. So all you have to do to enter is really, really simple, because a lot of you already have, and that's just basically just comment on the podcast, comment on the videos in on YouTube, comment on the post in Facebook, or just post in Facebook, and that's basically all you got to do. Message me, email me, all that kind of stuff. That all gets you into the drive and the prize giveaway, which I'm super, super excited about. Those alpha scrubbers are pretty awesome.
Oh, I would tell anybody who's initially starting in the business and you're cost effective wise, because I know the alpha scrubbers, if I remember, is less expensive than like the boar's hair. Buy that brush and start off with that till you can get enough money. So,
hell yeah. And we're not just going to give the brush with the 10 pads that come with it. An extra 10 pads as well is going to come with it. So you're set up for all of 2022. You can use this to make a lot of money with your residential or even commercial if you choose to use it for that. Other than that, it's going to be a hell of a year. I'm super, super excited. I got a lot of work planned and scheduled for the summer, so I can't wait for the different stuff that we're going to be bringing out. The website is growing like crazy. The group is growing like crazy. The channel is growing like crazy. And the podcast will, it's growing too. And you'll see us all here starting next year. It's just the end of the year. And so everybody's doing different little things and whatnot. But I think as we get back to this next year, we're going to probably, I'm hoping, David, have some more stickers, but also some t-shirts. So I'm hoping to get those printed up here before the next podcast. So
nice.
Wish me luck on that. All right, David, I think we're done for the year. This is it.
Easy enough, man.
I almost want to cry.
Hey, it's been a cool start to everything. So, Chris, just want to thank you for everything. Thanks for the help out and me getting into this about 3 years ago now. So I appreciate you on that end, and everybody who's watching. God bless. Have a happy New Year, and that's it. See you guys next year.
Couldn't have said any better, man. You're very welcome, and thank you, David. You guys have a beautiful one. Take care. We love you.